You are. Are we alive? I don't think so.
Mhm.
Good morning, everybody. So good to be here again. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Huddle Time with Ronit. How are you guys doing? I'm so excited to be here today. It's a beautiful day right here in Seattle. It was raining quite a bit yesterday, but it's gorgeous right here in Seattle. And today we're going to speak to Boston, all the way in the same line on the other side. And when I spoke to my friend this morning, she said it's a quite of a cold day. And you know what? It's a little chilly right here today. So I am putting my little scarf, but I got some spring colors for you because I just wanted to be in the spring mode. I feel like it. So how are you guys all doing? Show me your thumbs up from 1 till 10. Where are you? Are you a one? Are you a two? Are you a three? This is a really, really, really strong week for all of us at live at this week. In these challenging times. A lot of us are planning to go back. We got some ideas what's going on. Is it going to be a week? It's going to be 2 weeks. It's going to be 3 weeks. It's just coming up, and you know it. Some of us, some of our friends around the country has already been experimenting for exactly a week going back, and some salons have opened. Atlanta, Texas, other places. So, hi everybody. Good morning for everybody who's coming right in right now. My name is Ronit, and I am the founder of Salon Cadence Academy. We help high achievers, beauty professionals, and entrepreneurs build wealth and confidence so they can have a very successful, meaningful life. Together with Americans Beauty Show, we have partnered together to share with you uh, success stories, the secrets of success of beauty professionals, owners, salon owners, spa owners, nail salon owners. It doesn't matter what profession you are an entrepreneur, innovators, and many thought leaders to inspire you, to educate you, to support you in any way we can in these challenging times or in the next in the pursuit of happiness. It's going to at one point. Good morning, Dory. How are you? It's so good to see you. How is it in Chicago? You're in Chicago, right, Dory? Let me know. So it's challenging times right now. They're crazy times, and in times of uncertainty, what we want to bring is what we can be certain in, and how can we have a bit more control. So how are you feeling, guys, this morning? Jasley, is that how you pronounce your name? I'm always curious. Thank you for being here again at the show. I'm so excited that you guys are here. I got up this morning and I don't know what time do you guys get up in the morning. Let me know what time do you guys get up in the morning. I get up in the morning every day, pretty much by 5 o'clock. I have my first cup of coffee. I sit down and I just journal and I just, write. I vomit into my book and I just write as much as I can, whatever comes to my mind. So I go, yes, Chicago. Oh, it's a sunny day. And Dory, you're an 8. That is super, super awesome. Good morning, Ashley. I think I'm at 8 too, Dory. I'm at 8. So I have a whole day to work on being on a 9. And 8 is so much better than 5. But even if you're a 5, that's okay because there's so much room to grow. Funny story, Dory. Hey, Ashrina, how are you? Welcome. Thank you. Wow, you're a 9. Super stoked, super stoked, super stoked. Oh my God, 9 is amazing. So, are you going to do today, Dory, Ashrina? What are you going to do today to get to the next level of being 10? When I spoke, when one of the things that I took a great class from a professor in North Carolina. She is a positive psychologist, a positive psychologist. I know, 8. That's incredible. So she's a positive psychologist, and her philosophy of how to be happier and how to keep optimism going. It's a practice. It's a muscle. It's a science that builds obviously into your DNA in your brain. And her suggestions, which I took, I mean, we studied for quite some time the psychology of being positive. So what resonate in my brain more than anything, it's such a simple technique. It's a simple technique. And listen to this. This is awesome. And I practice this every day. I swear to God. Now, not every day you're going to find me positive, okay? There's no perfection here. Well, there's a little bit of perfection. But what keeps me going is, she said, if you do 3-to-1, 3-to-1, a ratio, to 3 things that makes you so super happy, to 1 thing that you're not excited about. The 1 thing that you're not excited about. Hi, Bonnie. So good to see you in my show. I love you. So those are the 3 things that she said, and quite frankly, I've been practicing it since 4 years now, since I went to her class, and it's been like magic. 3 things that you can do today. So if you guys want to share with me, what are the 3 things that you're going to do today to make you happy, right? To the 1 thing that doesn't make you so happy. So for me, when I wrote my journal today, I start with brainstorming all the things that comes to my mind. So I have one one journal that I call it vomit, and I put it down. And I write on the left page of today all the things that comes to my mind. And then what do? I go to my second page and I write down the 3 things that I want to accomplish today. 3 things. And I'm not looking into running a 5 miles marathon, although that might be one of the things that's going to make me happy today. So I'm going to put it in there. But those 3 things, if I accomplish them, I feel really good about myself. Now, once I'm done with this, with the priority list, which is just 3 things, right? Not a to-do list. They never work. 3 things. Then I move on to my other journal, my gratitude journal. And I write down 3 things that I'm so grateful, right? So today I wrote about walk in the park with my 2 dogs and my husband. And I love walking the woods because yesterday I got to call Bonnie, who is on the show today, who is going to be on our show in a week or so. And she is a branding expert. So I'm super stoked to have her on the show. And she was telling me that, and we were talking on the phone while I was walking with the dogs. So not only that I was so grateful to be around trees, to listen to the birds, to see 2 eagles flying on top of it, to be with my husband, to reflect on what I'm going to do next, because let's face this, we can build the next now, right? We have some time. I was talking to my friend Bonnie, and we were talking about things that we really love, and that makes me really happy. So those are the things that makes me happy. And if I can do 3 things that makes me happy versus 1 thing that doesn't excite me so much, like build a system, like right now, I am putting a whole calendar of all our guests that are coming to the show. And I'm not into it. I don't like doing that. It's just no fun. It actually takes the fun out, but I have to do it, right? Those are things that you just have to do. So I'm working on that. But by doing 3 things compared to that one that I don't like, I am still in my emotional bank deposit. Emotional bank deposit. So what are you guys going to do today that is going to make you happy? Do you care to share? If you do, just put it in the comment. Now, another things I'm going to, and while you guys are putting it in the comment, I see, take more classes online. Catch up with my client. Wow. Wow. Ashrina, how do you catch up with your client? What do you do to catch up with your client? And what classes do you love taking online? Because I'm obsessed with education, obsessed. So what do you take? Any one of you, what do you take? So yeah, I love that. Now, I want to bring into the show my very, very, very good friend, Shelley. But before that, I just want you to know that in any given time, you can ask a question. And my husband, who is my partner, he's going to bring into the screen right here the question so I can see it, so I can answer, so you guys can have any support that you can. Okay. And for those of you who don't know me, and I have not introduced myself this morning yet because I've been talking about you a little bit more. My name is Ronit Enos, and I am the founder of Salon Cadence Academy, and I'm the host of the Huddle Time with Ronit. We're here every Wednesday and every Friday on Facebook. We're going to add another day, and we're going to go also on Instagram Live. And we're bringing to the show a lot of great thought leaders and regular people, just like me, just like you, a salon owner success stories, editors, business coaches, life coaches. I'm going to have a breathwork yoga teachers. We're going to be having so many extraordinary people that we're going to share with you, that are going to teach us the pursuit of happiness, how to achieve it, how to be financially secure. So my background is, as you know, I owned a salon for 17 years. We opened 2 locations. I have a couple of very successful companies. But the success that I'm talking about, that ultimate success, came from creating and designing a business, a financial success that will allow us to build and design the life that we want. That's, for me, is considered the ultimate success. And when I realized what does it take to do it, and believe me, I wore many, many, many hats in this industry, and I felt on my face many times. And so I have a lot of failure, success, and success story to share with you, because as I said, I am not 100% perfect, right? But the thing is, I am here to support anything you need um, to ride through these challenging times, because they're really, really difficult. They're different. They're not the same as other crises. So I want to acknowledge for you to even be here. I want to acknowledge you for you to be an 8, and welcome Anne. In the woods, I live in northern Michigan, and finally a warm day. Wow, you deserve a warm day. There's nothing better than a sunny day. I was born in Israel and lived on the beach for my whole childhood. So I totally get it. I love the sun. Ashrina, texts, phones, call with my clients. Text phone calls. Oh, text phone calls in my clients. That's awesome. Do you ever do Zoom meetings with them? I'd love to know if you do that. Kathy, hi from Arizona. It's so good to see you. Hi, Christopher. Rhode Island. Hey, buddy, we're neighbors. Although I'm in Seattle, but you were there in Rhode Island. And I want to welcome my friend into our incredible, incredible huddle time. And let me read. Now, Shelley North is the owner of an award-winning Glow Beauty Boutique. Yes, it's a spa, and med spa. She is majored in business management, graduated of Boston University. She is, and we're going to talk about that, an esthetician and licensed one, but she's also a Reiki master for 20 years. And Glow, her boutique, has been nationally recognized by Salon Today as one of top 200 salons in the country for 5 years. 5 years! It's amazing. She's been nominated and win many awards. She was Stamp winner. She is the Business of the Year in the state of Massachusetts, which is pretty amazing, awards. But all these awards are so wonderful and they're so great. But the real deal is that she's living the life that she wants. Is it easy? No, definitely not. Hi, Angela. It's so good to see you. Hey, everybody. Angela is on our call today, and she is another great person, just like you and I, and she is in Connecticut. So what I want to say about Shelley, that she's such a good friend of mine. So important when you're in this industry or any industry, and I get choked up when I talk about this. But over the years, we go through so many ups and downs whether you're a mother, a wife, you own a business, you thrive, you're a high achiever. I know all of you are high achievers. And since you are high achievers, it is hard. It is not easy to build success, right? And she has been my friend through the beginnings, good, bad. That's what you want to surround yourself with, people that see the good in you, that wants to support you no matter what, no matter what. And in return, you do the same. In this industry, it's so beloved. We are the most passionate people I've ever met. And there's nothing that makes me more excited to introduce you to my friend, Shelley North, who is a wife, a mother of two, 13 and 11, Sienna and Charles. And she loves all the things that all of you love too. So let's bring you on, Shelley. Oh,
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I obviously feel likewise.
mwah. Thank you for being
I'm
here
to apologize. Today. My salon is on a busy street and we set up in the front. So if we hear a little background noise, I apologize at the beginning because we might hear a few buses or something drive by. So, but it is a rainy Boston morning. We're going to see sun probably for the first time in 2 weeks tomorrow.
Nice. Woohoo! We need the sun.
I cannot wait. But yeah, that was a great introduction. Thank you. And yes, we have gone through many years of, pulling each other up and cheering each other on and thinking ourselves out of situations. And I appreciate the support also. So
I know, and I love you. Now, Shelley and I have been studied together, tried things together. We did a lot of marketing because our salons are pretty much 5 miles away from each other. So what I love about that is that we, we're the same business and we never felt competitive. As a matter of fact, we're going to talk to you about the things that we share a lot. Hey, Kathy, I'm traveling hairstylist. So Shelley, we're going to get a lot of comments here and I'm learning how to integrate that into our conversation. So I'm traveling hairstylist, service clients both in Arizona and Michigan. This is challenging times to balance both clientele right now and balancing when we get back into the salon, scheduling, uncertainties, etc. I have a ton of stress. Kathy.
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club. You are not alone. You're not alone. We are so getting you. Do you feel like this every day, Kathy? So give us a little gauge here. Are you 1 to 10? Are you stressed in a 2, in a 3, in a 4, in an 8, in a 7? Give us a number. Good morning, Andy. So good to see you. Hi, Stacy. So good to see you. Thank you for coming. Shelley North have experienced that a lot, all of that. Shelley, Kathy, give us a little number. How stressful are you with all of this? And if you can be a bit more specific for us, that would help a lot. What is the number one thing out of all of that, vomit, right, that you are really keeping you up at night? Shelley, what do you think?
I would say just listening to my team and people in the community around me and the Salon Cadence group. I think it's the ambiguity, like not necessarily having 100% clarity about what our state regulations are going to be and then, what our local city and towns are going to be. We can obviously prepare as much as we can, but until someone says, this is what your capacity is, this is what your rules and regulations are, you're kind of stuck in this weird limbo of, I want to be prepared and I want to be ahead of it, but wait a second, am I doing it right? Right? Because nobody knows what's exactly right. Of course, the basics of cleaning and everything we've always been trained on, and then going a step ahead. But there's still that, oh my gosh, are we going to be like the restaurant industry where we can only take 25% of our clientele? And can we survive on that? Can the salon thrive? Or can I thrive on that? I do feel like people, it's the uncertainty and the lack of complete direction in our industry right now.
Yeah. I guess it's really difficult to be in an uncertainty, Kathy. But if we can offer one thing right now, like I said, write down what are you stressed about? What are the specific? What makes you an 8 right now?
Yeah.
And if and get your clarity first. Understand what is the uncertainty, and then once you do that, let's talk about how can we not be uncertain, right? Now, so thank you, Kathy, for this question. And by the way, Kathy, and for everybody, I want to put it out there. Um, because of all your questions, we created a workshop that is going to happen on Monday at 8 o'clock, excuse me, 8 o'clock in the morning Western time, 11 o'clock Eastern time. And it's going to be planning and yeah, 11, right, Bill? 11 a.m. in the morning. It's 90 minutes, and it will answer every question, specific question that you have. We're going to be sharing how to be financially secure in the next 90 days, how to create a roadmap in the next 90 days, and what really things that you can do to elevate an income when you don't have so many such a high traffic into your salon. So we're going to share all of it. And Shelley is a Salon Cadence member, and she will be sharing some tips as well. So anyway, Shelley, Kathy, and if you have any more question, put it out there. Thank you for that, and we'll come to it. Now, my first question for you is, why did you decide to open? You had a business background. You did not have cosmetology background. So what made
Right.
you decide you want to do this? Why did you open?
Well, it was definitely in my blood from when I was younger. I was always the person in junior high and high school, coloring everybody's hair, cutting, perming. Perms are real big in the early 80s. Of course, all of us had them. So when I got my second job, my first job was at 12 years old, waiting tables. I lied about my age to say I was 16. And then my second job at 14, I worked at the best salon in town. I mean, everybody had the best styles. I mean, all the men had the big curls like Prince and wore the suits and, the high shoes, and everybody's hair and makeup was perfect. And I loved the smell of hairspray, and I just loved the industry, the creativity and the energy and the music and the vibe. And I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to be a hairdresser. But I came from a working class family, and my parents did not go to college. And I was, fairly smart in school. And my parents said, I don't care what you do, but you go to college for 4 years. And so I did. I went to college for 4 years, and I always loved business. I always loved figuring things out. And I kind of did the rat race after that, and realized that my soul was screaming that this wasn't where I was supposed to be. And those weren't necessarily, some of them are my people. I have some of my best friends, but my soul was like, you're supposed to be doing something different. And I kept on going back to cosmetology. And at that point, I was into healing and Reiki, and then aesthetics came to me. And I said, wow, this is a perfect fit. I can have that energy and creativity and business aspect. So I did. I went and got my aesthetics license, and then worked in a salon for a couple of years, and then broke off on my own. And I have never looked back. So we're going on 18 years in July.
Wow, that's amazing, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So really the motivation behind it was obviously it's the love to be with the people and in a healing way.
Yes.
But the business part of it had to be satisfied.
Yes.
The feeling, it's the passion behind the satisfaction of how can it satisfy my passion in it. So now, how do you manage your workload? You're a mother of two.
Mm-hmm.
You have also a large family, and you're very active in your community, and you're a great friend. So how do you manage all of that and look so good and have such a big business? You're also you own another business, which is a commercial real estate, which is phenomenal. I know you started from zero.
Yes.
And I know you are self-made on that
Yes.
perspective. It's not like somebody handed you already made successful business.
Mm-mm.
You started everything. So how do you manage? Because I know it takes a lot. How do you
Yes.
manage to be there and not burn both ends?
So it was a learning experience. Definitely. I always consider myself very organized. Not when I was younger. My family would definitely have disagreed with that if you ever looked at my bedroom or whatever. But I always thought that was my creative brain, right? We were
Yeah.
just creating things all the time, right? And what's the next new shiny thing? Like all of us in this industry, not all of us, but the majority. I mean, the ADD of, what's the best new outfit? What's the best new trend? Oh, throw that away. Throw this. Let's go on. Let's go to the next club. Let's go into the next trendy thing.
Yeah, let's buy
But
another
as I got
education. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But as I got older and was aspiring to different things, I I do have that mindset that if I have my mindset on something, I get really wrapped up in it and I pick it apart and I pull it apart and I like to take things step by step by step. A lot of mind mapping. I mean, we've all seen that before. I'm a very visual learner. So for me to learn I need to visually see it. Let it be a whiteboard. Let me sketch it out. Let me put lines from the main idea. And that's kind of still how I work. But then I compress it all and keep it all very organized. Binders are my best friend. But, I don't just like regular binders. I like them color coded and organized. And I think that makes it more fun.
Yeah.
And I also really have strict regimen. You know, um, Not strict to the point that I don't enjoy it. I created it. So, what's that perfect day? It's working out. It's waking up, working out, meditating. Um, really, like you were saying about your day, I like to write down the top 3 things I need to get done that day. Now, I might have 20 things I really need to get done, but if I get those top 3 done, that's a successful day, right? So then I flip the page, and the next day I write all those 17 other things and add a couple more, and I put the top 3 for the next day. And then if I can delegate anything on those lists, I photocopy it, take a picture of it, I write someone's name, let it be social media, let it be my operations director, let it be my other business partner. And I learned how to delegate, but also collect all that information in one place so I can constantly go back to it or check it off to make sure it was done or reference it. And that's just my system. And that's what I do. Over the years, I've cut down my hours. I work on my businesses, not in them as much. I am in the aesthetics room every one day for like 10 hours, 10 to 12 hours a week to see my besties. Other than that, I'm running my business. And I do that by choice because I still love being an esthetician. But I learned pretty quickly I can't work 7 days a week as an esthetician and run a successful business.
Oh, which is great, but when you have and you have to have space in your head, right? You have to have
Yes.
head space. Um, Now, how do you find headspace? And I think, Kathy, you'll find that very helpful. How do you manage the stress? So, what do you do to manage stress? Because stress comes, right, like, for example, what we're experimenting right now, we all thinking, how do we go back? Because the doors are going to be open and the herd is going to come out. And you want to, I spoke to a few of our clients at Salon Cadence Coaching. Um, we spoke to our clients and they all said, we are, um, we're so worried about offending clients. They all call us for an appointment. They all want to come in. And how are we going to manage that? And there's some regulations that we need to put out there. And they're feeling anxiety when it comes to that. It's offending them or in some way. How do you manage that stress? How do you build some sort of mechanism that can handle anything that's coming your day on a day to
Mm-hmm.
day?
So, I mean, when you're talking about that and you're talking about clients or team interaction, what's always worked for me, I was taught, from my aunt, I'm from a long line of female entrepreneurs in my family. And, when I would get a lot of stress at the beginning about team members or things going on with clients, she said, there's personal and there's professional, right? So when you have a, say if we're talking about clients and offending them, you do have a personal relationship with them, right? But it started out professional, right? We always talk about this in the consult. You always have to do the consult, even though you want to know, how is their, brother's wedding and what did they wear and show me pictures. But you have to start out with the consult, right? Because professionals first. So I always say, personally, I care about you, right? And, I want to know you're okay and your family's okay. And I want to know your opinion about this because there's so many varied opinions about what's going on with the whole COVID, right? But professionally, here's my professional hat. I I am responsible for not only keeping my team healthy, but every single person walking through that door. And the only way I can do that is by following the regulations that were put forth to me. There is no gray. It is black and white, right? To keep people healthy and to follow those state
Yeah,
and town regulations.
absolutely.
There's no gray area anymore. So personally, I understand your frustration. Personally, I understand that you're frustrated either you can't get in when you want to get in, you can't show up at the door the way you want to show up at the door, you can't necessarily interact the way you want to, let it be hugs or whatever it may be, right? But professionally right now, which at the beginning we all have to do the best we can, and there's no gray. It's black and white. This is what we're told. This is what's going to keep you healthy. This is what's going to keep our license good. This is what's going to just be better for the overall community. And so I always look at it as a hat. Professionals hats on, even when I have a conversation with my team members, right? Personally, we're good.
Yeah,
I'll go out and have a
yeah,
cup of coffee with you. We can go out and have a dinner together. Personally, we're good, but that personal hats off. Professionally, we get a little bit of a problem. I didn't like the way something was said, overheard in the room, or the way you talked to someone, or the way you showed up for work a couple of days, or that you're tired, whatever it may be. They're two very separate things, and for me, that's reduced my stress.
yeah. And I think that's a great way to handle. I love the head analysis. I
Yeah,
love
because it's
that
also,
head.
again, we're visual people. I
Yeah,
put on my personal hat. It's off. I'm putting on my professional hat. Those are two very different hats.
yeah. No, well, we know we're going through a very stressful time, but you have gone through a really stressful time a couple of years ago, and it
And
was
then
a
again in March.
yeah, and then again in March, and it was a very different stress, but it was a
Yes.
life-threatening stress. You're a breast cancer survivor,
Yep.
you're a melanoma cancer survivor. Um, how how like you know how did that throw you off? And this was a different stress. You knew what
Yes.
you're having, you knew your enemy. Here we didn't know the enemy. It was uncertain, but yet this felt like how did you manage?
Well, I mean, you know this. I mean, and I don't say this to just say it. I do have an amazing team. Okay. I mean, but I've been in business 18 years. I have people that have been with me 17 years, 15 years, 13 years. Um, we, for the most part, we're symbiotic. We've been saying the same message, saying the same things. I trust them inherently. I trust them that if they don't do something or handle it the exact same way I would, that they handle it the best way they knew how or could, and I'd never punish them for that because I know that they've been trained well. I have an amazing director of operations and systems. I can't tell you, I was so blessed that over the years, I've had operations manual. My goal had always been that if I pulled somebody off the street, right? If my front desk person quit that morning or someone didn't show up, I could say, hey, you want to work for me? Here's my operations manual. Gotta go take a client, right? So I set my business up that way so that if they had a problem, they knew who to call, they knew what to do, they know what scripts to use, and they could use every aspect of the salon without me necessarily being here.
Yeah. So in thinking about that time, I just want to address that.
Yeah.
Anybody who's listening, it's never perfect.
No.
I know Shelley is telling you how she moved towards it and how she step by step implemented system. I was speaking to one of Salon Cadence members yesterday, And she told me, you know, Ronit, I don't have it in me to build another system. I am bored. It takes the fun out of me. I don't want it. I don't like it. I have to develop a training system right now, and I don't want to do it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, that's one thing that you don't like to do. Do three things that you love doing, and the one thing that you have to do system. You have to
do it.
Otherwise, you're
Yeah.
not going to be able to scale if you don't do that.
Right.
Now, Shelley.
Because if I didn't have that system, Ronit, it wouldn't have given me the time, the energy, the focus to deal with what I had to deal with,
Yeah.
which was, you know, obviously chemotherapy, double mastectomy, radiation,
Yes.
lots and lots of meditation, lots of visual, you know, guided meditation to try to build my cells up, you know, acupuncture, homeopathy, you know, anything I could have put in my arsenal to try to change whatever got me to where I was.
Yeah.
To try to hit the reset button.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a huge believer of Louise Hay. I mean, not everybody knows like Hay House Industries, Louise Hay, Heal Your Life.
Amazing.
I was into her before this.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, immediately, you know, if you look up any dis-ease, right, it could be breast cancer, it could be nerve problems, back issues, whatever you have, you can look it up. And there's a correlation typically between a body part or an organ that correlates in this whole energetic system. So, you know, what does breast cancer mean? Like, how did I, you know, in my mind, of course, you think, what the heck did I do? You know, as a vegetarian for 16 years, I work out, I'm not a big drinker, I don't smoke, certainly not a complete angel. But at the same time, I was like, what the heck did I do? You think I manifested this, I created this some way. And I do think that some of it potentially was some stress that I wasn't dealing with. I think that, you know, stress causes inflammation. Stress causes a lot of dis-ease, and where it manifests itself, you don't know. You know, a lot of us are really good at stuffing that stress down or ignoring it or whatever it may be. But the bottom line is, it's never good for us. So meditation became a huge part of my life. Yoga, I love my yoga. I call that lazy man's Reiki. Right? Yoga is breath work and posture to balance your mind, body, and soul, and really letting go. Right? As an entrepreneur and business owners, we're always sometimes like this, like anticipating and fixing and trying and trying and trying and trying. Sometimes you just have to say, you know what?
Surrender.
Surrender.
Surrender to your thoughts.
Surrender.
You know, surrender to your thoughts, because I don't think there's a better gift than what we have been given. You can think about it as crisis, or you can think about it as a gift.
Right.
And I know that gifts are also results of sacrifices, as we are all sacrificing every day right now. But it doesn't, the process of going back doesn't have to be stressful, and it shouldn't be stressful. And if you place yourself, this is I ask a very successful wealth management company, what are they going to do in these times right now? What are they going to do? You know what they told me? They share with me the reason why they're financially successful in these distressed times is the reason because they went through a crisis before and they have learned from their mistakes. And when they learned from their mistakes, they said they should have done financially planning before that to eliminate any times when we're going to have stress again financially. So the one thing that we teach is how to become financially secure. So when this happens, you don't have to worry about putting yourself behind a chair or putting yourself in a stress, like working millions of hours. But all of you guys, that doesn't have to happen. You know, if you calculate simple things financially and know exactly what your cost, you can predict and you can plan.
I do have to say, you know, we talked about this a little bit, and obviously with the Salon Cadence program and just in general, the profit first system. I mean, I put that money aside, and I know not everybody is aware of what that system is, and that's a whole topic for another day. And I know you do discuss it. The fact of the matter is, if you run your business that way, you would be okay right now. I'm not saying you wouldn't have to defer some bills or push some things off more by choice,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
But you would know exactly where you stand and what you need to do. So it's a real that's a real lifesaver. That in different processes, right? That you put into place.
So you're worked really hard going through cancer, and you've learned to put a lot of energy work, and you are
Yes.
a healer, you're a Reiki.
Yes. Hmm.
How do you integrate that into your day when you are behind the chair? Now, just so you know, everybody, Shelley has combined because by her choice, she loves to be in the room every week, one day a
Hmm.
week. Why do you do it? You don't have to, but you do it, and you
Hmm.
also use your Reiki system, which I love, in your facials.
Yes. So um, so my typical week is Tuesday. I come in and I get everybody on the same page and do orders, right, and get my whole day going, and have all my meetings. And then Wednesday is my client day. I don't want to hear about a bill. I don't want to hear about a problem. I don't want to hear about anything. I want to be 100% as an esthetician, as an employee, right? I just want to greet and love and do and create. And the Reiki does help a lot of people. I always tell new clients I gently integrate it. At this point, years ago, it was like, what the heck is that? Now everybody knows what Reiki is. Um, and it's just gentle energy clearing. And a lot of people enjoy it. They feel rejuvenated or relaxed when they leave. They feel more in tune. It's easier for them to make decisions. It's easier for them to heal any type of hurts or past wounds. And then they come out with beautiful, gorgeous skin, right? Obviously, which that's what they came in for. But they also feel better mind, body, and soul walking out the door. So
Yeah.
it's a real joy for me to give, and I enjoy doing that for them.
Um, you know, I think that alternative healing, right, where we integrate a lot of mind and body work and energy work, which, by the way, we're going to have a breath work and meditation specialist coming. I think is it next week or the week before that. We're so excited about it.
Hmm.
And so we're going to actually have a practice right here and show you guys how this makes difference in your life and how it gives you more energy. We're going to have Dr. Evan coming to talk about how to eliminate stress and fatigue that we're doing. But you have been practicing good nutrition. You've
Yeah.
been practicing Lewis Hayes. I'd love if you could share with us what is your day routine and what resources do you use for mind and body before we go into the next question.
Sure. So, and also to piggyback on what you were saying, I've never really put myself out there at Glow as far as doing guided meditations like I just do one on one with my clients in the room. But I do have a couple of recordings now for and stuff that I've been working on for Instagram Live to do those guided meditations. I feel like in this time, a lot of people, it's nice to connect and to make them feel good. But how do I use it in my day, my healing? Um, I would say that every morning before my feet hit the ground, I do all my gratitude, right? So what does that sound like? You write yours out. Sometimes I write mine out, but mine's more, I'm grateful that I'm healthy. I'm grateful that I'm there, mind and body. I'm grateful for my family, my children, my team. I'm grateful that the air is clean. I have clean water, a roof over my head. I'm grateful for prosperity. Um, I'm healed. I'm whole. I'm healthy. Um, I'm loved. I'm giving love. I just go through all this whole mantra, and I am. When you put "I am" in front of anything, it really makes it that more powerful. And then I've always been taught when you do something 3 times, it amplifies. So I typically say "I am," and then I say my things, and then I say it 3 times, right? And then I say "You are," right? Because you're not only talking to your higher self, your I am spirit. But then you're talking to your body elemental. So it's I am, and I do it 3 times. And then I say, you are, right? Like third person. And I say it 3 times. And then I say my name, right? Because the universe likes to know who it's talking to. And then I do that 3 times. And I just feel like after I do that, it kind of sets a nice, peaceful, grounded foundation for my day. And then boom, I'm up. I do my exercise. I might write down a couple of things that come to my mind that I always find that either my subconscious or universal divinely kind of downloaded, okay, you need to do this, this, and this. And then I get my day going. Now I have 2 kids right now during COVID. We're not going to school, but all this happens. My gratitude, my meditation, my workout, my writing down, my shower, and getting ready, all before what 7:45, right? And then I get everybody out the door, and then I go to the salon. And the salon, we open the salon every single day by lighting incense.
Yeah.
I do feel like it's super important to clear out, open the day and close the day, which we always do. I sage, like a lot of the times when there's a lot of traffic in the salon, the girls know we sage the salon. We have a Reiki grid
Yeah.
in the salon. We have crystals.
Yeah.
So it's just different things that I've done over the years
Yeah.
that I just feel like make the energy welcoming here.
And by the way, this is not woo woo. There is a science behind it.
Oh, yeah.
And the more you practice and the more you achieve higher sense of grounding and surrendering and letting the universe open, it's amazing that you attract to you more positive things, more things and more opportunities. So speaking about positive and speaking about opportunity, I love to take that same feeling and bring it into the business side, right?
Yeah,
So
sure.
closed doors, there's no clients coming in, but yet we manage to create income
Yes.
while we so opportunities has arisen. We'll learn something from that, and we're taking what we learned and we're going to amplify it and multiply it. Now that we're going back, we've learned new things. So for example, you learned how to use Instagram and record Reiki sessions, and you're going to utilize those. So that was a wonderful opportunity with the time. Now you also learn about how to use different resources of income production. What are the resources that you learned during this time that you're going to implement now in the new norm?
So, what did I learn? Well, I mean, I was really grateful that I already had an e-commerce site. We used it very minimally because there wasn't a lot of need for it, but the clients knew about it. So we've been really great with the e-commerce. So I think that's going to be part of our new norm that people will be purchasing. We talked about in Salon Cadence about packages, right? We offered packages to clients during this time. Not only was it to ensure that we had clients coming in, but also to give a steady, stream of income. What other things could I say? Um,
You implement, we're going to talk a lot about the income production and what you need to do in the new norm in our webinar,
mhm.
which is coming up this Monday at 11 o'clock in the morning. I would love for anybody who has not registered yet, please go register. It's completely free, and it was made for you guys because you guys were asking our partners with ABS, anybody's interested. But we created a specific things. We tried them. Did we know they're going to be successful?
No,
No.
but you have to try them.
You have to try them, right? And what's a better way to try them? And if they're not successful, you learn something and you move to the rest. So,
Right.
couple of things that we spoke about that were really successful, um, were to implement buy 3 get 1 free, and we were
Yeah,
not
I
talking
agree.
about services because we learned that it's a different type of revenue stream. But buy 3 packages, bundles online and multiply it on commerce is going to be the new norm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Now, so I want to take it both. You were talking about how you have years long of staff members that have been with you for a long time. But I
Mhm.
want you guys to know over there, it takes a while to learn how to do it, okay, how to create a really good retention of staff. But also, there has been many, 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 I am sure, staff members that didn't stick, and they're not sticking.
Correct.
So it's normal. It's totally normal, guys. But still, I so admire and at awe of how you maintain some amazing staff members and how you guys perform in such a fun way at Glow. I love
Oh, I have
going
a lot
there.
of
So
good
much fun. But I want to
Yeah.
know, what do you guys do for fun? What do you guys do for fun? Now, how do you manage the fun during the year?
Well, I mean, sometimes the fun takes over from the back room. So sometimes it's, hey, we have whole clients, so like we have clients out in the lobby and in the room, so we're working. I would say the first rule of fun is to, they're really good people. It comes down to values, and you can talk all seriousness about values, but you know what? It is who you are, right? And you attract who you are. And um, when I interview, and I've shared this with you before, and sometimes you get the answers right at the beginning and then it doesn't vibe, but the most part it's, if I give you a plane ticket tomorrow, where are you going, why, and what are you doing? If I sit in your car right now, what radio station are you listening to? If it's a Friday night, it's your perfect Friday night, what are you doing, right? um, and a lot of those things kind of give a clue. Are they going to vibe with the rest of the staff? Like I mentioned, have jokesters. I mean, nobody makes each other laugh more than they do. Okay. I mean, the side jokes, the goofiness, the tricks they play on each other. Um, it's just an overall good feeling. And people pick up on that, and they truly, really care about each other. So things we do for fun, we try to connect. We, have gone to cooking classes together, all the things like the little outings that we do. But one of the staff, she loves to entertain. She always has people over. She has a pool. She has a nice outdoor area. Her cousin's a caterer. People tend to gravitate to her house. She's just a natural, giving, warm soul. That's our Jamie. That's
Yeah,
just who she
yeah,
is. And I mean, but all the girls are like that. I mean, there's stories about all of them and all the different things that they do, and they have each other's back. So there's loyalty, there's trust, and all that good stuff.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you create the fun. I remember at our salon we had somebody who was the fun director. So
Yeah.
their role was to create games and engagement and have a fun director. So that was her job. Her
Oh,
job was to
oh
be the
Jesus,
fun
they'd
director. It was
beat
Melissa.
each other up to figure out that one. If I handed someone a fun directive baton, I don't know if any work would get done.
Oh my God, that's kind of scary because I know we're going to all end up. Now, over the years, I have two last questions to ask. Over the years, you and I have shared a lot of travel, a lot of educations
Yeah.
together. We have done. I was actually looking at all our pictures together of what we have done. And
Oh God, yes.
oh
Salon
my
today,
God,
serious business, data driven. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it took us all the way to things that we did with Boston Magazine,
Yeah. Oh
when
yeah.
we
Oh yeah.
had
We
when we
sponsored
had
stuff together.
a lot of
Yep.
charities together. We
Tons of
still do
charities.
the
Yep.
charities together.
Disco night.
Disco night, we did the disco
Oh
night.
my God, the disco night. Actually, people took out pictures of that. Remember the big, huge fur jacket? Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God,
That
do you
was fun.
remember? Oh my God,
Yeah.
we had the 80s night. That was fun, and that was a big charity for the
Yeah.
children's hospital. So we had a lot of it. What, in your opinion, and I can share with my opinion, in order to be very successful in maintaining your information and education and inspiration as an owner, as a beautician, as a new student, anything that you can share, what are like your favorite three things that you and I go almost every year for the past 20 years that you take your staff in that gives you and I the most pleasure other than eating and drinking where we go? What do you do? What do you
We
think?
definitely go to New Orleans. To serious business. We have our favorite restaurants. We normally book months and months in advance.
Yeah.
Um, and our favorite hotels and our favorite food and people.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just an overall amazing experience. And
Serious business.
they do a great job. They really do. The Neal Corporation does a great job of picking out all those speakers and the education. I mean, one of the things that always tied the two of us together is that we are lifelong learners. And I don't say that as a coin term. I mean, I have a passion for this industry, of course, but I have a passion for learning. I never think that I know it all. I never think I know it all. And I just always think there's more to learn, more to be curious about, and more to perfect.
Yeah, so what American's Beauty Show is planning right now is to have the most amazing show that is coming up next year. Unfortunately, we had to.
Yeah, I know. I saw that they had to move it because of this, but I can't wait for next year. It's
Oh
gonna
my
be
God,
amazing.
what we're planning is is unreal. So I can't wait to be there. So those are the things great things that happen.
Have they announced the date yet, Ronit?
Yeah, it's the 17th through the 21st, and it's going to be in Rosemont in Chicago.
Is that October?
No, exactly the same weekend that it was supposed to be this year in April.
Okay. Okay.
So that's where we're going
I
to
thought they
be.
moved it to the fall. Okay.
I know, so excited. And
Yeah.
it's a great show because it brings and unite all beauticians and brands and manufacturers. The art of doing hair, the art of business, and so that's another great one. So those are the fun things about learning to be in quarantine, is how much we want to be back in our beloved industry together and connect and network. All right,
Absolutely.
so we are exactly 3 minutes to see how quick the time goes by.
It does,
The
yeah.
hour. What would you give? Well, how would you gift, and what book would you gift to your best friend or your daughter?
Yeah, you asked me this. So let me see. So I think the first thing that got me into really good money saving and money planning and piqued my interest, because I wanted to figure out how people did it, was almost probably 15 years ago at least, The Millionaire Next Door.
Good
Right?
one.
That was
Yeah.
a great book. It's a great introduction book. I think it speaks a story of a lot of us, especially people like myself and you that didn't come from big backgrounds of money and people behind us just handing us money. We had to scrape it up and figure it out and save it and pay back loans and make our dreams come true on our own. Even if we did have help from family members at the beginning or whatever, we had to make it work, right? And then we had to save the money. So The Millionaire Next Door. And then for a personal book, I like the book All the Like That, You Cannot See. I like Goldfinch. Those two books really always stuck with me. I just really like them. So, but The Millionaire Next Door would be the first one.
Yeah. Thomas Stanley. Is that correct?
Yes, something like that. Yeah.
That's a good one to read. It's a great one to read. Napoleon Hill is another good one when it comes to the financial section. Think and Grow Rich. That's a good one.
Think and Grow Rich is awesome. That was probably my second one.
It's a heavy book. I read them now for the third time, and I'm still having a hard time. But Shelley, thank you.
You and I could talk all day long about belief systems, and I think what The Millionaire Next Door says to you is that it doesn't matter where you come from, you can do it.
Yes,
you just have to figure it out.
Obviously, we all are here. So thank you, Shelley, for being here today. As always, excuse me, it's so much fun to share time and to
thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'd love to have you come again and teach us maybe something specific. And for all of you out there, is there anything that we can support you with? Please put it in the comments. We are going to come back and answer your questions if you didn't. And if you really want to try out and understand how to be financially secure, we're going to talk about money. We love talking about money. But we're also going to talk about how to engage your employee and how to plan your 90 days. Once we open the door, let's call it grand opening, because it is a grand opening. And we'll work on all of that in our workshop on Monday. So hope to see you there. And I'll see you next Wednesday. We have special guest, and we'll let you know who. And I love you guys. Peace, surrender, enjoy your time. This is your weekend. Why you do this? Why you plan your next you? Talk to your future you. Future you. Who is your future you? What do you want? And claim it. I love you guys. Thanks, Shelley.
Thank you, Ernie.
Bye.
Bye, baby.
Until next week.
Until next week.
Hold on, Shelley. Don't go.